As enterprise marketing operations expand across global markets, a critical operational question inevitably surfaces. How do you maintain absolute control over your brand voice when your weekly publishing output scales from a few localized articles to hundreds of pieces of content? For years, global brands relied entirely on manual editorial review processes to safeguard their reputation. Dedicated regional editors combed through every paragraph, verifying facts, adjusting stylistic nuances, and checking legal disclosures. This approach worked well when teams published a handful of assets each month. However, the rapid adoption of generative tools has fundamentally changed the speed of digital publishing. Today, enterprise marketing operations can produce hyper-localized assets at an unprecedented volume. This sudden acceleration introduces a massive operational friction point. When you increase your content production speed exponentially, a manual-only editorial review model quickly breaks down. Human teams face immense cognitive fatigue, leading to a stark choice: either slow down production and miss critical market windows, or push ahead without thorough review and expose the organization to major brand safety, compliance, and legal risks. The core friction point of global scale. The core problem facing modern enterprises is not an inability to create text, but a lack of scalable validation. Generative systems enable regional teams to draft documents within seconds. Yet high volume without central governance is highly dangerous for any modern brand. Consider the baseline data regarding modern workflows. Recent data indicates that 90% of content marketers use AI tools within their operational workflows. This widespread adoption has driven a 42% increase in monthly content output for organizations that embrace automated generation. But what happens when you remove the editorial guardrails to chase this speed? High volume without centralized control often leads to severe financial and regulatory friction. A landmark study by the Ponemon Institute demonstrates that the average cost of non-compliance, encompassing regulatory penalties, business disruption, and revenue loss, reaches 14.82 cents million. This figure is 2.7 times higher than the actual cost of maintaining proactive compliance measures. To achieve sustainable, fast growth, global companies must move beyond old editing habits. The answer lies in establishing an automated framework for AI-powered global content governance. By integrating automated tools directly into your content management system, CMS, and documentation pipelines, your marketing operations team can systematically scan, audit, and safeguard hundreds of publications each week for brand safety, compliance, and tone consistency before any asset goes live. The anatomy of modern content risks at scale. Why do standard human editorial structures fail to catch modern publishing risks? The answer lies in the unique nature of algorithmic output. To build an effective corporate defense system, we must first analyze the three primary risks that threaten high-volume global content engines. 1. The trap of hallucinations and authoritative misinformation. Large language models don't generate content the way human writers do. Instead, they predict the most probable sequence of words based on vast training datasets. Because these systems are designed to be helpful and fluent, they produce highly authoritative, grammatically flawless prose, even when the underlying data is completely fabricated. This phenomenon is known as an artificial intelligence hallucination. Standard editorial teams often overlook these errors because the text reads beautifully. A regional editor scanning an article quickly might notice perfect grammar, smooth transitions, and an engaging hook, while completely missing a corrupted product feature value, a fictionalized case study statistic, or an outdated legal disclosure. This is a structural risk, not an isolated glitch. Real-world benchmarking demonstrates that even advanced foundational models carry systematic compliance risks. For example, GPT-4o carries an average hallucination rate of 1.5%. At an enterprise publishing scale of 10,000 monthly localized digital assets, that tiny percentage translates to 150 instances of incorrect product information, wrong compliance data, skewed pricing frameworks entering the public market. For businesses operating in highly regulated fields like finance, healthcare, or enterprise software, 150 public compliance failures can result in catastrophic legal consequences. 2. The multilingual fragmentation of brand voice. The second core risk centers on the fragmentation of corporate identity across different regions. When an enterprise operates across multiple countries, localization involves much more than translating words from one language to another. True localization requires adapting the message to match distinct cultural expectations, regional idiomatic expressions, and local market positioning. When regional marketing teams deploy disconnected AI generation tools without central oversight, the corporate brand voice fractures. A brand that positions itself as highly technical, objective, and authoritative in its primary market might suddenly sound overly casual, aggressive, or promotional in a localized European or Asian publication. Does this voice fragmentation really impact the bottom line? The data says yes. According to Enterprise Brand Management Research, 68% of businesses report that maintaining strict brand consistency contributes to a revenue growth of 10% or more. Yet, a staggering 28% of organizations suffer significant corporate reputation damage due to highly inconsistent brand presentation. This fragmentation erodes customer trust and dilutes your market positioning. If your global audience experiences a completely different tone, message, and value proposition depending on their geographic location, your overarching brand identity loses its clarity and impact. 3. The shift from soft guidelines to strict enforceable law. Historically, corporate brand safety guidelines functioned as soft internal policies. A stylistic error or a missing copyright disclosure was an embarrassing mistake, but it rarely invited regulatory intervention. That operational landscape has fundamentally changed. Regulatory bodies worldwide are moving away from passive oversight and enacting aggressive, legally binding frameworks to govern automated text generation. Corporate compliance is no longer optional. It is an economic necessity. Reflecting this shift, the global AI content compliance market is expanding at an 18.8% CAGR, projected to scale from $4.8 billion in 2025 to $22.6 billion by 2034. This rapid market expansion is driven directly by new, stringent enforcement mechanisms such as the European Union AI Act. Under these modern regulatory frameworks, organizations can face severe financial penalties, reaching up to 3% of their global annual turnover, for high-risk algorithmic classification errors, deceptive automated interactions, or unverified automated outputs. Architectural blueprint: the automated AI compliance workflow. To scale global publishing without inviting chaos, enterprise marketing operations must abandon passive reactive review models. Waiting until a piece of content is flagged by a customer or a regulatory body to issue a correction is an incredibly risky strategy. Instead, organizations must build an automated, pre-publication auditing framework that acts as a continuous digital gatekeeper. An effective automated governance framework uses specialized machine learning models to programmatically audit hundreds of weekly publications before they ever reach a live server. This system evaluates text across 3 distinct architectural layers. Layer 1, the semantic scanner. The first gate in the automated compliance workflow is the semantic scanning layer. This engine uses natural language processing (NLP) to parse unstructured text fields into distinct data points. It then programmatically compares those data points against a centralized corporate master data dictionary. The semantic scanner automatically cross-references every technical specification, product capability description, and historical metric mentioned in a draft against verified corporate records. If a generative tool creates a fictional feature or references an outdated product statistic, the semantic scanner instantly flags the contradiction. This step ensures that every piece of published content remains factually accurate, regardless of which regional office created it. Layer 2, the regulatory and disclosure check. The second layer focuses entirely on legal protection and regulatory alignment. This engine applies precise pattern matching rules and conditional logic to scan text for mandatory regional boilerplate, copyright verifications, and specific legal disclosures. For example, if an enterprise publishes an article discussing software security in Germany, the compliance engine automatically verifies that the text contains the specific data privacy disclosures required by local European laws. If the article shifts to financial performance or medical software capabilities, the system verifies that the appropriate industry-specific disclaimers are present and correctly placed. By automating this process, your organization eliminates the risk of human oversight, preventing an illegal or non-compliant publication from slipping through to a live audience. Layer 3, the sentiment and tone evaluator. The final layer moves beyond explicit rules to analyze the text's qualitative style. The sentiment and tone evaluator uses specialized classification algorithms to score written assets against your corporate style guidelines. This tool measures structural text characteristics, including sentence length distribution, vocabulary complexity, reading ease, and emotional valence. If your corporate brand guidelines state that technical documentation must remain strictly objective, informative, and clear, the tone evaluator will flag any content that uses overly sales-driven phrases or hyperbolic claims. This layer ensures your global voice remains consistent across every channel, language, and market. Tactical implementation, moving from strategy to action. How do you implement an automated governance system without slowing down your content team? It comes down to setting up a clear workflow. Instead of overwhelming your team with restrictive rules, you can scale your operations safely using 4 simple phases. Phase 1. Build your brand playbook, the foundation. Before turning on any automated tools, you need to collect your brand rules in one central place. Create a clear digital glossary that explicitly lists your approved product terms, forbidden phrases, and required local legal rules. Standardizing these details gives your auditing tools a single, clear baseline against which to measure every piece of text. Phase 2. Connect the auditing tools, the guardrails. Link your automated compliance software directly into your content management system, CMS. Set up automatic scans that run as soon as a creator writes or edits a draft. This automated gatekeeper works in the background, instantly checking the text for basic brand safety, general tone, and factual slip-ups before anyone else sees it. Phase 3. Sort and route mistakes, the logic. Program your system to sort writing mistakes into clear categories based on their importance. Minor slip-ups like basic typos or minor style issues can be automatically corrected or sent back to the writer for a quick tweak. Serious errors, such as a missing legal disclosure or an illegal claim, will automatically freeze the article and send it straight to your compliance team. Phase 4. Keep humans in control, the optimization. Never let an automated tool make the final call on what gets published. Establish a balanced workflow where experienced human editors review the trickier flags raised by the software. Industry tracking shows that 76% of enterprises now mandate human-in-the-loop protocols. This blend of technology and human intuition allows you to catch delicate cultural nuances while helping you continuously refine your auditing tools over time. Measuring the real value of automated governance. Setting up automated guardrails requires an upfront investment of time, tools, and team focus. To get executive buy-in, marketing leaders need to focus on real business outcomes. Fortunately, the financial case is incredibly strong. When you automate your review process, quality control stops being an expensive insurance policy and becomes a tool that drives corporate efficiency. Automation fundamentally updates how an enterprise operates in 3 clear ways: lower costs and better margins. Leadership studies reveal that 66% of executives find that enterprise AI value comes directly from cost efficiencies and margin improvements. Replacing slow, line-by-line manual editing with automated scans instantly reduces your content production costs. Faster turnaround times. Passing your text through an automated content review system reduces workflow cycle times by 40% to 60%. Instead of waiting weeks in slow legal and editorial queues, complex global articles clear your production pipelines in hours. Fewer expensive mistakes. Deploying automated data and compliance checks saves large corporations an average of $143 million in tech setup and up to $3.01 million in data program costs. These savings happen because the system catches brand safety failures, compliance slips, and legal issues before they ever go live. Beyond these financial numbers, automation creates a massive strategic shift. When your quality checks run automatically, your senior strategists no longer waste time proofreading text. Instead, your best creative minds can focus entirely on building high-impact campaigns, researching new markets, and growing your global audience. Optimizing for answer engine optimization, AEO. Your brand naturally stands out as a trusted authority across all digital channels, future-proofing your global content. If you want to grow a global brand today, you have to face a basic truth. Manual editorial reviews cannot keep up with high-volume digital publishing. Real operational maturity means building automated checks directly into your content infrastructure. At Aspiration Marketing, we help high-growth enterprises build mature content engines that combine rapid production with absolute brand safety. From optimizing your HubSpot CMS and CRM data for AI answer engines to scaling multi-language blogs using advanced content agents, we provide the clear strategic roadmap you need to expand your global operations without the chaos.